Greetings. This is Tyra Omilade, and this is a short nugget of logging a bit of wisdom that has come to me that I think will be helpful for you. I am in a phase of life where everything is just up for review, and I am redefining myself. It's a whole new identity coming in. It has been a little harder than I knew it would be. Some of it is because I just didn't expect moving into empty nesterhood and changing my career from being a homeschool mom to not being a homeschool mom and being other things would be harder. No one prepared me for this. I just didn't know that it was going to be like this. So, and then not wanting, loving being a mom with young, raising my children. I love that. It was just my heart. And so in a way I've had to not in a way, but I've had to grieve and unpack and just do this releasing work. And I'm more used to being an empty nester now. It feels normal. However, what I still haven't figured out is who the heck am I? In astrology, we have transits that can be so pivotal and transformational that when you come out on the other side of them, you will be a whole new person. And so that's happening for me at this time. And yesterday, all of a sudden, there was this song that just kept playing in my mind. And it's from the movie that was about the Temptations. And one of the members of the group, I apologize, I don't know their names. We know David Ruffin, but I don't have everybody else's name memorized. But this is one of the members who, I think in the movie they were portraying, he had an addiction problem with alcoholism, and they're playing. One of the members is playing the piano and he's singing, "For once in my life, this is mine, you can't take it." And these last few days, I've just keep hearing that song play in my mind. And I was like, what is this song? So I decided to pull up that scene, and nothing came to me about what that was about. But I just kept, well, first of all, this is a song that has been remade multiple times. I didn't even relate that song to the one that Stevie Wonder sang, which is the same song, "For Once in My Life," because of course Stevie Wonder sang it very upbeat and fast. And so once I turned on Stevie Wonder's song, it unlocked some memories, just because that's a song I remember from my childhood. And at the same time I was working on something, and it required me to scroll through files that I have. And I started seeing these pictures of myself, previous years of selfies or just things that I was doing. And then I decided, this is opening something in me. Let me look at, as many pictures as I can from as far back as different versions of myself, different ages. And the first thing that came to my mind was, do I really want to die up out of here not using my gifts and my talents? Is that something I'm really okay with? And that happened the last time I had a significant eclipse point in my life. This was when I was like 46, 47. Yeah. And I was about 47, almost 47. And I just got committed to, there was a dream I had, and it made me realize I'm headed up out of here without using these gifts and talents. And so I've been committed. I've moved more and more into using my gifts and using my talents. But for some reason that came back to me yesterday while I was listening to that song and looking through the pictures. And then all of a sudden I thought about how one day we're here in 3D, but when it's our time to go back to Ancestor World, we are 2D images on a screen. Even if there's a video, it's just on a screen. No one is able to touch our loved ones who are on that screen. And so I just imagined that I was looking at my life. Me doing a life review, looking at all my previous selves, and some of it I was doing it just in my memory, just remembering little Tyra and teenage Tyra, 20-something Tyra, 30-something Tyra, 40-something Tyra. I'm 53, so I got 51, 52, 50, 50, 51, 52-year-old Tyra. And I felt so much perspective and gratitude in my life. Because part of what I'm reckoning with right now is I can't just jump back into life doing what I was doing before, because I am so different from how I was before. And so, how do I move forward being more healed? Because it's just so programmed in my body to do great things, but some of it is mixed up in there with these behaviors, these attitudes, this drive that has been tied to the part of myself that had trauma there and didn't know it was there. And maybe sometimes I would overdo things. I used to just live in fear all the time, just afraid that something was going to get me, something was going to go wrong, the shoe was going to drop. It was just, I lived that day in and day out. And it drove me, because I am someone who likes to be excellent and, I want success in life. But success gained with the wrong motives is not sustainable. And at this juncture in my life, it's not possible anymore, because I've healed so much. To move like that is not okay. And it's been harmful to my health. But I looked at myself like, wow, to know how traumatized I was and operated from, but still, I remember thinking, I just wouldn't give up. I was just like, I'm gonna go for, I'm gonna go to Spelman College. My little heater just came on. I want to go to Spelman College. Or even when I was in high school, I wanted to be president of this and vice president of that, secretary of this and treasurer of that. And, I was the leader of the cheerleaders, and went off to Spelman College and did what I did there, and graduated and married, and have had a marriage that has lasted at the time of this recording almost a full 29 years, and raised children, and just traumatized by my mother dying at 27, and just so much grief after that. It took so long for me to stop grieving every moment that I felt like my mom was missing things that I never imagined she would miss. And I raised my children so flawed, but so determined that I was going to become what they needed me to be, which was going to be a healthier mom, just one who could support them in being who they came here to be, and loving and kind and compassionate, and a great guide, And just every venture I've ever had, teaching fitness and dance, and so traumatized. That is one of the hardest things you can do, because people are so critical. And I can't tell you how many times people would just come to class. Like, people can't come and be happy. People will just bring their trauma or their bad moods. And with me dealing with my own stuff, but still wanting to be kind and loving, sometimes I just kind of took hits from people. It's like, oh my gosh, I have some of the worst experiences in my life from dance and fitness. Is one of the reasons I was like, I don't want to teach on a regular basis ever again in my life. At least that's how I feel today. And then my 40s was just like so challenging, just getting my kids across the finish line of their childhood and homeschool, and going through perimenopause and feeling so alone. My mother-in-law died when I was in my 40s, and she was truly one of my greatest supports, and, an anchor. Oh my gosh. And then, my 50s, I'm going to say late 40s and the 50s has been me figuring out business, and oh my gosh. that has been very, very challenging. But I just was in awe as I reviewed all of this. I was like, wow, I'm really in awe of myself. If I were to die today, it's some stuff that I don't want to leave undone. But, there's some stuff I need to clean up. But if I had to leave today, and I actually got so scared yesterday, I was like, am I getting ready to die? But I just heard, no, this is just a life review. I had so much perspective on my life. Like, wow, my life is precious. And I'm a bad mama jamma. Like, to have created a life of meaning despite all of the things that have been challenging and all of the mistakes that I've made in my life, I'm in awe. I am in awe. And so I looked at my astrology this morning and saw a transit that potentially would give me perspective on life. And I was just like, this is astrology, the gift that just keeps on giving. And so that's one of the reasons I'm making this recording. I don't want to forget this moment. Maybe somebody else can benefit from it. But also just understanding yet again how there are ways for us to kind of grasp what's the mission for me right now? What is this moment about for me right now? And to make the most of it. And so I just want to encourage you to allow the life reviews to happen. Sometimes we really do have to allow ourselves to see our life as if we were on the other side. Another way that I remember thinking too is I got to see myself the way the Great Mother sees me, the way God sees me, the divine. I was like, oh my gosh, what a precious, precious woman. Soul, human. Yeah. So I hope this supports you. There was a time when I never could think something like this. So if you're there, trust and believe. Astrology will give you that opportunity. Life will give you that opportunity, and you can just straight up carve it out now that you know this is possible. But your life is precious. The good, the bad, the ugly, the great, the insane, the mess and the magic. It's all so beautiful. To be human is a gift. It is a very challenging journey to make. But if we allow ourselves to see, we don't have much time. And, let's make the most of the time that we have. And sometimes it takes, if I look at my life from the lens of death, and it used to be I would look at my life from the lens of death and think, oh my gosh, I am not living the way I, like if I were to die today, this is not okay. And then sometimes we can look at it and just be like, yeah, everything is okay. I see my life totally different. Everything that I've ever done prior to right now. So yeah, give yourself a little bit of compassion because the universe is, the Great Mother is. All right, take care, Queen. Peace and love.